The Ukrainian Armed Forces attacked military facilities in the occupied Crimea. Local publics write that loud bangs were heard in the Kerch and Feodosia area. The public page Krymskiy Veter reports that NASA satellites have recorded strong fires south of the village of Kurortnoye, Leninsky District, Crimea, which is located on the coast of the Sea of Azov. It was in this area that the S-300/S-400 systems and radars were located. This is evidenced by the photos that were previously posted online by Crimean residents. The source writes that a Castor 2E2 radar was also spotted in the Kurortny area. At the same time, the Ukrainian Armed Forces began attacking military facilities in Crimea late in the evening of June the 30th. Residents of Dzhankoy reported bangs when they heard the sounds of aircraft landing in the area of the airfield. The General Staff of Ukraine has not yet commented on the information about the night strikes on military facilities in Donbass and Crimea. Recall, drones operated by the Security Service of Ukraine struck the Kirovsky military airfield in occupied Crimea. The attack destroyed Mi-8, Mi-26 and Mi-28 attack helicopters and a Pantsir S-1 self-propelled anti-aircraft missile and gun system, the SBU claimed. According to the SBU, Ukraine targeted Russian aviation, air defense systems, as well as ammunition, reconnaissance and attack drones storage facilities. As Russia intensifies aerial attacks on Ukraine and the civilian death toll climbs, Ukraine has stepped up its drone attacks on Russian territory too. Earlier, on June the 27th, Ukrainian drones struck 4 Su-34 fighter jets at the Marinovka airfield in Russia's Volgograd Oblast, according to the military. Preliminary reports indicate that 2 Russian fighter jets were destroyed in the June 27 attack, and the other 2 were damaged. Russia uses the aircraft to bomb Ukraine. Secondary detonations continued throughout the night, suggesting munition storage sites were hit. This marked the second consecutive day the SBU reported destroying Russian military assets in Crimea. On the 26th of June, Ukraine's military intelligence agency announced that its primary unit carried out a separate drone strike on 5 key components of Russia's S-400 Triumph air defense system. Targets included 2 multifunction radars, 2 detection radars, and 1 missile launcher.
Three people were hurt after a train derailed in Wisconsin. WSN-TV reports thousands of gallons of diesel fuel also spilled onto the ground when it happened Monday in Hartford, about 35 miles northwest of Milwaukee. According to Associated Press, Hartford Fire Chief Tony Burgard tells the station that 3 Wisconsin and Southern train conductors were able to walk to a nearby road and were then taken to the hospital for minor injuries. Burgard said the diesel was not highly flammable. The train was also carrying nitrous oxide, commonly known as laughing gas. Burgard said that did not leak. A spokesperson for Wisconsin and Southern told the station they are still investigating the cause. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is also investigating whether there are any environmental impacts.
Ukraine is set to ramp up production and use of long-range drones, with the frequency and scale of strikes inside Russian territory expected to grow. Defense Minister Rustem Umerov said, "Last year Ukraine developed a plan for systematic long-range operations and contracted several tens of thousands of long-range drones." Umerov noted, "This has made it possible to regularly carry out high-precision strikes against critical targets deep behind enemy lines." He added that drone deliveries are proceeding according to schedule and that operations are conducted daily, in line with established plans. About 2 weeks ago, a decision was made to increase the number of operations several times over. Umerov stated, "Experts say that Russians are in a panic from this news." Earlier, it was reported that Ukraine's security service and special operations forces announced today that they destroyed 2 Russian Su-34 fighter bombers and damaged 2 more during a joint long-range drone strike on the Marinivka airfield in Russia's Volgograd region. The Ukrainian defense forces have successfully attacked the Russian military airfield Marinovka in the Volgograd region, destroying at least 2 Su-34 multi-role fighters. This was reported on the air of the Freedom TV channel by a serviceman of the territorial defense and military analyst Alexander Musienko. According to him, this operation is reminiscent of the special operation Web, when Ukrainian drones attacked strategic aviation airfields deep in the rear of the Russian Federation. The cost of one such Su-34 is estimated at about $50 million. The Kremlin, of course, does not admit that Russian aviation has suffered great damage, but all this is visible on social networks. It is impossible to hide, no matter how hard Russian propaganda and Russian special services try to regulate the information space. The Ukrainian operation demonstrated Russia's serious vulnerability. I call the strike on the airfield in the Volgograd region Little Web. It was not a big special operation Web, but further web will be woven from such small ones, he believes. He added that the destruction and damage of 4 Su-34 fighters was a serious blow to Russia. Military analyst Alexander Musienko emphasized that the joint special operation of the Security Service of Ukraine and the Special Operations Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine was extremely effective. 2 aircraft were completely destroyed and 2 more require lengthy repairs. All 4 aircraft were ready for combat sorties and were supposed to strike Ukraine. In addition, Ukrainian drones managed to destroy the technical infrastructure of the Marinovka airfield, which significantly complicated its further use. In the future, we will see an increase in strikes on Russian territory. If Russia has terrorist and aggressive plans, then we have our own plans to defend ourselves, protect ourselves, and strike military targets on Russian territory. And our campaign envisages strikes on such targets in the summer and fall, Musienko summed up.